Hi students, we are discussing the concept of moment of inertia. Yesterday's class I introduced the moment of inertia, how to determine this moment of inertia. Okay, I gave formulas, some formulas, I derived some formulas for uniform rod. I shown that moment of inertia, uniform rod. Second one is for ring, I derived, and for disc I derived. So, and other bodies are solid sphere, hollow sphere, and solid cylinder, hollow cylinder, rectangular lamina. These are the bodies we have. So, some I derived and some I gave the formulas for moment of inertias. Okay. Now, in today's class, now I am introducing two important theorems, two important theorems named as those theorems are parallel axis theorem and perpendicular axis theorem. These two theorems are very useful to us to determine the moment of inertias. Okay. Let us see these theorems. The first one is perpendicular axis theorem. Perpendicular axis theorem. Perpendicular axis theorem. Okay. What this theorem says that, so this theorem is applicable for laminar bodies. Applicable for laminar bodies. Laminar bodies. Laminar bodies means plane objects, and applicable for laminar objects, laminar bodies. Okay. This theorem says that the moment of inertia, let us consider a laminar planar object. You consider two axes in its plane. Let it be first x axis and the second one is let it be y axis. So, this is a rigid body. Okay. Rigid body. Let it be x axis, let it be y axis. Okay. These two axes are in its plane of the object. Now, you choose another axis which is passing through point of intersection of the first two axes. So, this is about this axis. Let it be this is a z axis. Okay. So, both x and y plane, perpendicular one is z axis, and it should passes through these two axes. Okay. Point of intersection of these first two axes. Then this theorem says that if Ix is the moment of inertia of this lamina about Ix, what is I suffix x? Moment of inertia of the laminar object about x axis. Yy is the moment of inertia of this laminar object about y axis. Iz is moment of inertia of this laminar object about z axis. Okay. Then this theorem says that then we have, according to this perpendicular axis theorem, we have Iz is equal to Ix plus Iy. So, this is the statement of perpendicular axis theorem. What it says that moment of inertia of the sum of moment of inertias of the lamina about any two perpendicular axes in its plane is equal to moment of inertia of this of the same body about another axis which is perpendicular to the first two axes and passing through point of intersection of the first two axes. That is the statement of perpendicular axis theorem. Statement, I will write here statement. So, this is a mathematical statement, I will write the statement here. Okay. What is the statement? The sum of moment of inertia, sum of moment of inertias of a laminar object in its, the sum of moment of inertia of a laminar object about any two perpendicular axes, about any two perpendicular axes in its plane is equal to the moment of inertia okay, moment of inertia of the same lamina about another perpendicular axis passing through point of intersection of the first two axes. Okay, this is the statement of parallel axis theorem. Okay, you note down. See, for this I will give small example to understand this. Okay. Suppose there is a disc. See, example, I will explain with one example. Suppose I want to find moment of inertia of a disc, about an axis passing through center in its plane. Okay. So I want the moment of inertia of the disc. Okay. So I choose the disc. So the disc is, let it be a disc. So it has two symmetrical axes. So I choose two axes which are perpendicular to each other in its plane. So this is one diameter, this is another diameter. Okay. So these two are diameters passing through center. So first one you choose as x-axis, second one you choose as y-axis. Okay, let it be a disc. These are the two diameters which are perpendicular to each other passing through center. Now moment of inertia of this disc about x-axis, let it be Ix. Moment of inertia of the disc about y-axis, let it be y. From symmetry, these two are equal. So moment of inertias, let Ix, Iy be the moment of inertias Ix, Iy be the moment of inertias of the disk about x, y axis, x and y axis respectively. Okay, Ix and Iy be the axis respectively. So by symmetry we have Ix is equal to Iy, that is equal to, let it be, Id. What is Id? Id is, what is Id? Moment of inertia of the disk, moment of inertia of the disk about its diameter, in its plane, about its diameter. Obvious, diameter is in its plane. Okay. Now moment of inertia of the disk, let it be Id. Now I derived this moment of inertia of the disk about an axis perpendicular to its plane. Okay. I explained about this axis. What is this axis? Passing through center of gravity, let it be Ig or Iz. Okay. So what is Iz or Iz? What is Iz? Moment of inertia of the disk, moment of inertia of the disk, moment of inertia of the disk about moment of inertia of the disk passing through center about an axis, passing through center, perpendicular to its plane. Okay. So I derived this one. So what we got? Iz is equal to, let it be Iz, because it passes through center of gravity. So that is our center of mass. I derived mr square by 2. What is m? Mass of the disk, where m is mass of the disk, r is radius of the disk. Okay. Radius of the disk. Okay. So Iz is equal to mr square by 2. Now I want Id, we have Iz. So apply perpendicular axis theorem. So what is this theorem says that? So I will write, next step I will write here. Okay. Apply perpendicular axis theorem. Apply perpendicular axis theorem. Okay. What it says that Iz is equal to Ix plus Iy. Okay. Ix is Id, Iy is Id, and Iz is how much? Mr square by 2. Mr square by 2. I want Id. So Id is equal to 2Id is equal to mr square by 2. I want Id. Id is equal to mr square by 4. Okay. So this is the answer. Okay. For this question, the answer is Id is equal to mr square by 4. Okay. So here I applied which theorem? Perpendicular axis theorem. Okay. You take this. Next one. parallel axis theorem. So the next one is parallel axis theorem. So these are the two important theorems. Parallel axis theorem. This theorem says that statement. What is the statement? This I will write starts from here. Statement. What is the statement? So before going to the statement, this theorem, it is, see, this is useful for any rigid object. This is for any rigid body. Okay? Any rigid body. Any rigid body. And it is applicable for, I will write applicable for all bodies. Okay, this parallel axis theorem applicable for any rigid, any shape of the body, it will applicable. So I consider rigid body, it has a different shape. So moment of inertia of this rigid body about an axis passing through center, let it be g. So this axis, let it be I. So this moment of inertia of this rigid body, let it be Iz. So what is Iz? I define moment of inertia of this, before going to write the statement, I will explain. Okay? Then I will tell this statement. What is Iz? Iz is moment of inertia of a rigid body, moment of inertia of a rigid body about an axis passing through center of gravity. Okay, that is Cg. Moment of inertia of the rigid body about an axis passing through center of gravity. Okay, let it be Iz. So what is I? Moment of inertia of the same rigid body about an axis, parallel to the about another parallel axis. So for the same body about another parallel axis. Suppose I want moment of inertia of this axis. Let it be I. I said moment of inertia depends on axis of rotation, isn't it? If axis of rotation changes, moment of inertia changes. Okay? So for the same body, it has a different values. About this axis, let it be Iz. About this axis, let it be I. Okay? How this axis? It should be parallel to the first axis. Now, if m is mass of the body, m is mass of the rigid body, and small r is perpendicular distance between two parallel axes. Then this theorem says that I is the mathematical equation statement is I is equal to Iz plus mr square. So this is the statement of parallel axis theorem. So this is the mathematical statement of parallel axis theorem. What it says that moment of inertia of a rigid body about an axis is equal to sum of moment of inertia of moment of inertia of the rigid body about another parallel axis passing through center of gravity and product of mass of the body and square of the distance between the two parallel axes. That is the statement of parallel axis theorem. Okay. Now I will write the statement. Now the statement, you see. So what is this theorem say? Moment of inertia, I will write the statement. Moment of inertia of a rigid body, about an axis, the moment of inertia of a rigid body about an axis is the sum of moment of inertia of the body about another axis, about another parallel axis. Okay, it should be parallel, about another parallel axis passing through, it should passing through center of gravity. So that is the condition, center of gravity. Okay, and okay, this is I, and the product of mass of the body and square of the distance, square of the perpendicular distance, square of the perpendicular distance between two parallel axes. Okay. So this is the statement of parallel axis theorem. Once again, see, the moment of inertia of a rigid body about an axis, this is I, is the sum of sum of moment of inertia of is the moment of inertia of the body about another parallel axis, sum of about another parallel axis. That axis should passes through center of gravity, this one. Okay. So I want moment of inertia of this rigid body about this axis, let it be I, is equal to about another parallel axis. This axis should be parallel to this, the given one, and passing through center of gravity. Okay. And the product of, this is the product of mass of the body and square of the distance, perpendicular distance between the two axes, let it be R. So the perpendicular distance between the two axes, let it be R. Okay. So you take this statement. Now I will explain this one. I will explain with one example how it will be useful to us to determine the moment of inertia. Okay. So how this theorem is applicable? Example. Okay. Example. You take this. Find moment of inertia Mi. Instead of moment of inertia, I am writing Mi. Find Mi of a thin rod, thin uniform rod, thin uniform rod about an axis, passing through one end, passing through one end and perpendicular to its length. So this is the problem. Okay, how we can apply this theorem? Here I am going to apply parallel axis theorem. Find moment of inertia of a thin uniform rod. So this is, let it be a thin uniform rod. We have moment of inertia about this axis. We have, what is this axis? Passing through center of gravity and perpendicular to its length. Okay, we have this one. Let it be Iz. So what is Iz? I will write here. Moment of inertia of the rod about an axis passing through center, perpendicular to its length. We got already this one. How much we got this? Iz is equal to ml square by 12. I think I derived this one, where m is mass of the rod. What is L? Length of the rod. Then Iz is equal to ml square by 12. I derived already this one in the previous class. Now I am using this. Now I want this moment of inertia of this rod about an axis passing through one end. So this is one end. So if the rod is, this is one end, perpendicular to its length. I know moment of inertia of this rod about this axis. Let it be Iz. I want moment of inertia of this rod about this axis. How these two axes? Parallel. So I am applying parallel axis theorem. What is the perpendicular distance between the two axes? If L is length of the rod, so this perpendicular distance becomes L by 2. So perpendicular distance between the two axes is L by 2. Now I am applying this theorem. Apply parallel axis theorem. Apply parallel axis theorem. Okay. So what do you get? I is equal to Iz plus mr square. This is the mathematical statement of parallel axis theorem. So I want I. What is Iz? Iz, I got it as ml square by 12 plus m. What is R? Perpendicular distance between them is L by 2 whole square. Okay. So that is I. So I is equal to ml square by 12 plus ml square by 4. Okay. So this is 1 by 12 plus 1 by 4. 1 by 12 plus 1 by 4 of ml square. Okay. then how much you got? I is equal to ml square by 3. So you will get 1 by 12 plus 1 by 4 becomes 1 by 3. So I got moment of inertia of the thin rod about an axis passing through one end perpendicular to its length is how much? ml square by 3. So from these examples it is clear that moment of inertia depends upon axis of rotation. For the same body it has different values. Okay? So hence it is a neither vector nor scalar, it is a tensor quantity. Okay? Take this. Next one. So based on these laws, I will explain some problems. So how these theorems will be applicable in problems. So here I introduced these two theorems, parallel axis theorem and perpendicular axis theorem. I explained how this theorem will be applicable, how we can apply. I explained with the help of examples. Now we will do some problems, okay, based on this topic is moment of inertia. Okay. Now you take this problem. Two spheres. There are two spheres, each of mass m. Mass of each sphere is m. Radius is r by 2. Radius of the sphere is r by 2. This one is also r by 2. R by 2. They are connected with a massless rod, length 2r as shown in the figure. So they are connected with the help of a massless rod. This radius is r by 2. Both are identical. These two are connected with a massless rod of length 2r. So this length of this rod is 2r. Okay? As shown in the figure. Now moment of inertia of the system about an axis passing through center one of the spheres perpendicular to the rod. Okay? So we want to find moment of inertia of the system. What is this system? Consists of two spheres and a rod. Okay? This is a rod, massless rod. This rod is massless. Assumption of length 2r. Moment of inertia of the system. Find the moment of inertia of the system. About an axis passing through center of about an axis passing through center of one of the spheres, center of one of the spheres, because both are identical, and perpendicular to the rod. So is how much? Question mark. Is first option 21 by 5 mr square, 2 by 5 mr square, 3 5 by 2 mr square, 4 5 by 21 mr square. Okay. So this is the problem. So here m is mass of the each sphere, r is radius of the, r by 2 is the radius of the each sphere. Okay. 2r is perpendicular distance between the two spheres. We want moment of inertia of this system. First, when you are going to determine this moment of inertia, first you identify the axis of rotation. That's important. So about which axis you are going to determine this moment of inertia. First you have to trace. I want moment of inertia of the system about an axis passing through center of one of the spheres. I will assume this sphere. Okay, passing through one of the spheres and perpendicular to its length. Okay, clear? So I want this system consists of three particles. First two is two spheres only. Two spheres only. Third one is rod is there, but it is massless. So its moment of inertia is 0. Okay, clear? Okay, is it visible? Okay. Now massless. Now I want moment of inertia of this sphere. So total moment of inertia of the system is moment of inertia of the first sphere plus moment of inertia of the second sphere plus moment of inertia of the rod, because first sphere, sphere 1, sphere 2 and the third one is rod. So this is rod. Moment of inertia of the rod is 0. I3 is 0 because rod is massless. Rod is massless, that is assumption. So I1, so I is equal to I1. What is I1? Moment of inertia of this sphere. First I will write I1. Moment of inertia of the sphere, first sphere, mi of the first sphere about given axis. Okay. So moment of inertia of the first sphere is, this is a central axis. I said moment of inertia of the sphere is, solid sphere is 2 by 5 m r square. R is radius of the sphere. So you apply this mr square. What is r here? Radius of the sphere. Radius of the sphere. What is m? Mass of the sphere. M is mass of the sphere. So moment of inertia of the sphere, I gave the formula 2 by 5 mr square. But r is, radius of the sphere is here 2 by 5 m. What is radius of the sphere? R by 2. R by 2 square. So what you will get? 2 by 5 m r square by 4. So this you will get as 2 times you will get mr square by, you will get 2 times 2 into 5, 10. So you will get this mr square by 10. Now I2, moment of inertia of the second sphere, mi of the second sphere. Okay, second sphere. Okay, moment of inertia about given axis. This is axis of rotation. So we want moment of inertia of this sphere about this axis. We know moment of inertia of this sphere about this axis. Okay, what is that? Let it be Iz. What is Iz? As I give you the formula, mr square by m, solid sphere, I got it as mr square by 10. This is mr square by 10. I take this one. Okay, about this axis. But I want about this axis. How these two axes are parallel. So you apply parallel axis theorem. To get moment of inertia of the second sphere about this axis, apply parallel axis theorem. Okay. So apply parallel axis theorem. To get I2, apply parallel axis theorem. Parallel axis theorem. Okay. So I2, parallel axis theorem. So to get I2, I will write here steps. So I2 is equal to what is that? Parallel axis theorem, Ig plus mr square, m small r square. That is, what is Ig? mr square by 10 plus m r square. What is r? Perpendicular distance between the two axes, that is 2r. 2r whole square, 2r whole square, that is 4r square. So that is mr square by 10 plus this is 4 mr square. Okay. So what you will get? You take LCM 10, 4 into 40, 40 plus 1, 41 mr square. Okay. This is 41 mr square by 2. So 41 by 2, 41 mr square by 2. So how much you get this? 2 times, nearly equal to, you will get this answer. Okay. 41 by 2, you will get nearly 20.5 by 5 mr square. So nearly 21.21, nearly 21 by 5 mr square. So you will get this answer. Okay. Take this. Next problem. So in these problems, how we are applying these theorems, you observe. Okay. Now you take another problem. Two lead spheres have volumes in the ratio 1:n. The ratio of their moment of inertias, about their respective diameters, respective diameters. Is first option 1:n to the power 1 by 3. Second option 1:n to the power 2 by 3. Third option 1:n to the power 5 by 3. Fourth option 1 is to n to the power 5 by 2. Okay. So this is the problem. How we can solve? Okay. Solution. How we can solve? So there are two lead spheres have volumes in the ratio 1 is to n. The ratio of their moment of inertias, only volumes ratio is given. So volume of a sphere, volume is equal to 4/3 pi r cube. This is volume of a sphere. Okay, lead spheres. Volume of a sphere is given by the formula 4/3 pi r cube. Both are lead. That means both are made with the same material, homogeneous, same material. That means the densities are same. Okay. Since the densities are same, volumes are in the ratio 1 is to n, then masses are also in the ratio 1 is to n. Volumes are in the ratio. So let us see. Volumes are in the ratio. Volume is 4/3 pi r cube. So V proportional to r cube. So what is volumes are in the ratio? I will write here. V1 by V2. So volumes are in the ratio R1 cube by R2 cube. So from this, what is this given? V1 by V2, how much it is given as? 1 by n. Okay. So what is R1 by R2? 1 by n to the power. Bring this 3 this side. So it will becomes 1 by 3. Okay. So R1 by R2 I got it as 1 by n to the power 1 by 3. Okay. So I got ratio of radius. Now we want volumes ratio. We want moment of inertia about their respective diameters. So now you come to this point. Moment of inertia of a solid sphere. So let it be a solid sphere about an axis passing through center is given by the formula 2 by 5 mr square about its diameter. Respective diameters means this is itself is a diametral. Central axis is centroidal axis passing through diameter. Passing through diameter. So itself gives the same meaning. So ID is equal to 2 by 5 mr square. So we got this. Now it's proportional to mass, volume into density. So we want a ratio of their moment of inertias. So I will write this one. Ratio of moment of inertias is I1 by I2 is, so I am writing this 2 by 5, 2 by 5 get cancelled. So m1 r1 square, m1 r1 square by m2 r2 square. What happens? This 2 by 5, 2 by 5 get cancelled. So what is m1? Mass is volume into density. So m volume means 4/3 pi r cube, r1 cube into density. Let it be rho, r1 square by 4/3 pi r2 cube rho. Both will have made with the same material. So density is same. So they cancel. R2 square. Okay. So 4/3 pi get cancelled. So what you will get? R1 to the power 5 by R2 to the power 5. Okay. So I want I1 by I2. So that is R1 by R2. What is R1 by R2? 1 by n to the power 1 by 3 whole power 5. So that is 1 by n to the power 5 by 3. So this is the answer. So this here, which one is suitable? Third option is suitable. Take this. Next problem. Like this, there are so many problems you have to practice. Okay. Next one. The moment of inertia of a circular plate moment of inertia of a circular plate of uniform thickness and radius r about an axis perpendicular to the plane of the plate passing through center is I. Full stop. A circular plate of radius r by 2 is cut and removed from initial plate. Okay. The moment of inertia of the removed plate about a perpendicular axis passing through center. Removed plate is about same axis, that is passing through center of the plate, and the moment of inertia of the removed plate about an axis passing through center of the plate perpendicular to its plane is, okay, that is I by 2, second one, I by 4, third one, I by 8, fourth one, I by 16, remaining plate, removed plate, remaining plate, I will write first one. Okay, I will correct this one. So moment of inertia of this circular plate of uniform thickness of radius r about an axis, let it be a plate. Okay, this is a circular plate of radius r. Okay, radius r about an axis passing through center perpendicular to its plane. Okay, passing through center perpendicular to its plane. We have I about this axis is passing through plate from center is I. So we have mr square by 2, where m is mass of the plate, r is radius of the plate as usual. Okay. Now a circular plate of radius r by 2 is removed. Let it be removed, cut from the initial plate. The mi of the removed plate is, so first remaining plate I will calculate. So I will remove this one, this plate having the radius r by 2. Okay, I removed like this. Then what is its moment of inertia? Okay, first I will remaining plate, moment of inertia of the I will calculate mi of the remaining plate. First I will take moment of inertia of the is cut and removed from the initial plate. Then mi of the remaining plate about same axis. Okay, remaining plate. So that is the problem I assumed. Okay. So here first you find the moment of inertia of this removed plate about this axis. Okay, what is this? Let it be Ig. I removed. I will write removed part, I suffix r, moment of inertia of the removed plate. So first you find its mass of the removed part and find its moment of inertia of this removed part, and you apply parallel axis theorem, you will get this one. Okay, remaining plate. So I will find this moment of inertia. So see how I will calculate moment of inertia of the, I am using this concept, moment of inertia of the remaining body is instead of plate I will write as generalize. I am generalizing this concept. So how we can solve such a type of problems? Mi of the remaining body is mi of the whole body, minus mi of the removed part. Okay, about same axis. So when you are applying this principle, you for these three bodies, that is remaining whole body and a removed part, moment of inertia of all these three should be about same axis, that you have to mention. Okay, so we want a moment of inertia of the remaining body in terms of I. So first what I am doing, moment of inertia of the whole body about this axis is I. Clear? So then I am going to calculate moment of inertia of this removed part about this axis. Okay, so first, so to get this, the first one, so step number 1. So what I am going to calculate, mi of the removed part I am going to calculate, removed part. Okay, this removed part I will give the names of these axis. Let it be AB axis, let it be CD. Okay, this name of the axis. So moment of inertia of the removed part about CD is equal to moment of inertia of the removed part okay, removed part, moment of inertia of the removed part about axis CD, about CD axis plus I am using perpendicular axis theorem. M mass of this removed part, I take it as m dash into perpendicular distance between them is r by 2 square, r by 2 square. So this is CD axis, okay, let it be O center. This is CD is the axis where m dash is mass of this removed part, m dash is mass of the removed part. So I want that its radius is r by 2, which is at a distance r by 2. This whole thing is r. So this distance is r by 2, perpendicular distance. So I am using which formula? Moment of inertia of the removed part about an axis. What is this? I am applying I about CD is equal to I about this is CD about AB plus m dash into r square by 4, okay, m r square by 4. Now I want to find I of AB. So I want m dash. M dash, mass of the removed part is m dash. I want this, radius is r by 2. Okay, so you find m dash. So same thickness, if radius r by 2. So here plate, circular plate, for circular plate, mass is equal to area into thickness, same thickness, okay. Area of cross section into thickness becomes volume into density, mass. So I am using the formula mass is equal to volume into density. Instead of volume I have written area of cross section into thickness becomes volume into density becomes mass. Here thickness is same, density is same. So mass proportional to area of cross section, that is area is pi r square. So mass is proportional to r square, okay. So since total mass is, radius is r when mass is m. So when radius is r by 2, mass is, I will calculate m dash. M dash is equal to, m dash is proportional to, we have r by 2 whole square. So that is m dash proportional to r square by 4. R square instead of r square, can I write m dash? So m dash by removing this proportionality can be written as m by 4. I will. So from proportionality theorem we have this is equal to m by 4. So m dash is equal to m by 4. Instead of r square I have written m, okay, m by 4. So the mass of the removed part is m by 4. M is original mass of this disc. So I will take this one also. Now what is IAB, moment of inertia of this removed part about AB? I am applying formula m dash, disc formula m dash, its radius is r by 2 whole square, mr square by 2. I am applying this formula plus this one is m dash r square by 4, okay. So this is total m dash, this is r square by 4, 4, this will become 8. So m dash r square by 8 plus 4 into 2 8 plus mr square by m dash square by 4. We add these two. So you will get 8 as a LCM. 8, 8, 8, 1 plus 2, 3. So 3 m dash r square. So you will get this. Instead of m dash, you write m by 4. So that is 3 by 8. Instead of m dash, I am writing m by 4 into r square. So that is what you will get, 3 by 4 into 8, 32 mr square. Okay. So I want, so this is, I have to write in terms of I. So I is defined like this, mr square by 2. Okay. So this I about CD, mi of the removed part about CD is, I want to express this one in terms of I. So this I written as, instead of 32 I am writing 4, 2, that is 16 into mr square by 2. 2 into 16, 32. So this is 3 by 16 mr square by 2, I will write it as I. Okay. So moment of inertia of the removed part about this axis, about the same axis is how much? It is 3 by 16 I. Okay, this part. Now I want this mi of the remaining body about the same axis, mi of the whole body minus mi of the removed part. Removed part is 3 by 16. So I want this, where I have to write. So I will write here. Okay. So I will write this step here. Okay. I want mi of the remaining body, mi of the remaining body about same axis is mi of the whole body is I minus mi of the removed part is 3 by 16 I. Okay. So this one is 16 minus 3, that is 13 by 16 I. So here it is not given. So here it is mi of the, I think, removed part. Removed part, if it is removed part about an axis passing through center perpendicular to its plane is, removed part means you will get about this axis, moment of inertia about an axis about AB. Suppose if you want removed part, moment of inertia about this AB axis, what you will get passing through center, you will get this m dash. So this is the answer. Okay. Suppose if you want a moment of inertia of the removed part about AB. Suppose you want this, okay, removed part. What is this? Remaining body, remaining part. So removed part is removed part. I want this AB, I of AB. So that is m dash into r by 2 whole square. Okay. So this is, what is m dash? M dash is m by 4 into r square by 4. So this you will get half of mr square by 2, because I am going to write I into 1 by 4 into 4, 16, 8. So this will get I by 8, I by 8. If it is removed part, if you want, you will get this is the answer. Okay. Mi of the removed part about an axis AB means answer is I by 8. But moment of inertia of the remaining body about same axis means answer is 13 by 16 I. This is the procedure. Clear? Take this. So, this is the class how moment of inertia will be calculated. I explained in this class. Okay? Take this.